If I have to watch Iron Man die with my own two eyes, if I have to watch that in a movie theater, no. 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 Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're talking Avengers. We're talking Avengers Endgame, and we're talking theories. Theories that I've compiled with my own brain and little help from the interwebs. Let's just get right into it with the release of the Endgame trailer a couple weeks ago. I've been doing a bit of dissecting. I've been doing a little thinking into the past MCU movies, what I think is going to happen in this movie based on what I've seen in the trailer and based on what I've seen and heard from the past year of production. So we're going to start things off with number one, what I think is, and that is Hawkeye's family is decimated. So we see Hawkeye in Japan in the Endgame trailer. He's donning the Ronin armor. He looks pissed off, and you can see in Jeremy Renner's eyes, he looks like he's lost a lot. And Renner is a really good actor when it comes to conveying things without saying anything. He's got a very emotional face. So when we see Clint in the trailer, he looks broken, he looks beat, and he looks mad. The last we heard of Clint before Infinity War and in Infinity War was that he took a deal after the events of Civil War so that he could be with his family, for breaking the Sokovia Accords. That was the price he had to pay. He and Ant-Man Scott Lang took a deal to be with their families. Hawkeye was not in Infinity War. I think he'll be making his return here. I think he'll be making it triumphantly, but I think he'll be making it only because his family did indeed die and turn to dust due to the snap of Mr. Thanos, the big purple mad titan. I do believe that that's what's going to bring Hawkeye back into the game. Whether that's to be seen that he's going to get his family back, I guess we will have to just watch and find out. But I definitely think that's what brings Hawkeye back into the game. His family is dusted. And that brings us to number two, what I think is going to happen in Avengers Endgame, and that is Tony Stark will be rescued by Pepper Potts. When we see Tony Stark in the beginning of the Avengers Endgame trailer, he seems to be sending what is his last message to Pepper, or really anybody that can be receiving the message at this point. We see him floating in space in the Guardian ship, the Benatar. Supposedly it looks like he's alone, but we last see him in Infinity War. He's with Nebula on planet Titan. So maybe she's there with him. Maybe she's not. Maybe she left him for something else, or maybe they got in a fight. We don't know. That remains to be seen. But what I think is going to happen is Pepper Potts will get that transmission with the help of Tony's AI, Friday, the Irish accent having artificial intelligence. I don't know what you call those things. But I think that Friday is going to help Pepper in receiving this message and delivering it to Pepper so that she can get his coordinates, and she's going to rescue him. And I think that's a big thing that they dropped in the trailer. Pepper Potts specifically in the comics has her own armor, and it's called the Rescue Armor. And we've actually seen behind the scenes shots of Gwyneth Paltrow that she posted on her Instagram of her in a purple, very purple suit, very Iron Man-esque. It is definitely an armor, and she has a green screen behind her. So I think that she is going to don this armor in the movie, basically. I think that Friday is going to help her assemble the armor and get it on and figure it out. And then they're going to take a Quinjet and go get Tony's ass, because why not? Pepper saved him before in Iron Man 3. She is the CEO of Stark Industries still. They're about to get married. She's the last person to hear from Tony before he actually leaves Earth. Nobody on Earth really knows if Tony's alive, if he's been decimated. He went on to fight Thanos with Doctor Strange and Spider-Man and the Guardians on Titan, and really didn't say goodbye to anybody before that happened. So to everybody else's knowledge, Tony could just be dust. But to Pepper's knowledge, I believe she's going to receive the transmission from Stark that he is trying to send from the Benatar in the beginning of the trailer. And I think that she is going to save him. I've heard theories where they think Rocket Raccoon might be doing the rescuing because he's looking for his remaining guardians, but I think it would just be a bit cooler and a bit more symbolic if Pepper were to actually do the rescuing in her rescue armor. And now number 3, we actually saw Hulk get brutally handled by Thanos in Infinity War, and my next theory is Hulk will exact his revenge on Thanos and get that one-on-one rematch that he's been waiting for. So we see Hulk in the beginning of Infinity War. He gets his ass handed to him thoroughly by Thanos, and Thanos doesn't even have the full gauntlet on. He has the Power Stone, which the directors have said that he didn't use in the fight against Hulk. There's been a comic released, a prelude to the Avengers movie, that shows that he did use the Power Stone. So either way, he made Hulk look like a total bitch and really just, eliminated him from the party. So I think that made the Hulk a little bit reluctant in the remaining moments of Infinity War, because he seemed a little bit scared. He hasn't been defeated like that in a long time. I know that the dynamic is actually that he's not scared of Thanos, that he doesn't want to be used by Banner just for those things, just for fighting. The Hulk has obviously, in Ragnarok, he gained a personality. He was able to live as Hulk for 2 years. I think the Hulk is too important of a character for the Russos to leave in such a bad place with a bad taste in our mouth. He didn't get to do what we wanted to see in Infinity War. And we even saw the shot in the trailer of Infinity War showing the Hulk in Wakanda, which was obviously a lie. So let's just take everything that we see in trailers from Marvel with a little bit of grain of salt, because they've had pulled trickery like that before, and they'll continue to do so because they have to keep the secrecy around their movies, don't they? Because people like me have to go and decipher those movies, and we can't rest until we decipher them completely and get to see the movie. But I think Hulk is going to get his revenge on Thanos and beat him in a nice little one-on-one match. Whether that be to ultimately beat Thanos, I don't know. Whether it be just to knock him around a little bit before the remaining Avengers get his hand at him as well, we will see that. But I do believe Hulk will Hulk out and punch Thanos in his ball sack of a chin. Number 4, what I think is going to happen in Avengers Endgame, Tony Stark will team with Scott Lang and use barf technology along with the quantum realm to formulate a plot against Thanos. So when we last see Ant-Man, he gets trapped in the quantum realm from going into the quantum realm to collect the quantum energy in the end credit scene of Ant-Man and the Wasp. He gets stuck in the quantum realm because his remaining team members get dusted in the snap. So last we see Ant-Man, he is stuck in the quantum realm. I believe, based off of behind the scenes shots that have been leaked set photos, and what the directors have said, that Mr. Iron Man Tony Stark will be using his barf technology, which was at the beginning of Civil War, to show Tony Stark showing his memory of the last time he saw his parents, and he was giving a presentation at MIT. The Russo brothers have specifically said that there was a 5-minute portion in the beginning of Civil War that showed a specific piece of technology that they obviously laid out for the future. And they said that's straight from the horse's mouth. So I believe that Mr. Tony Stark and Mr. Ant-Man will use the barf technology, the binarily augmented retroframing, and the quantum realm to go back into time, into memories of Tony Stark, battles throughout the MCU, to go reach the stones and stop the stones from getting into Thanos' hands. Now, based on these shots, we do see Captain America in his outfit from Avengers 1 in the Battle of New York. We see shots of Ant-Man in the Battle of New York, which he was not, obviously, in the original Avengers. We also see shots of Mr. Tony Stark not in his Iron Man armor, in a shield suit, and his hair looks to be more gray. His hair looks to be more gray than it was in Avengers 1 and even in Infinity War. So he looks to be a bit older. Whether that's Iron Man from the past or Iron Man traveling back in time, I don't know. But based on those photos, I believe that Scott Lang and Tony Stark will use their combined technology and wisdom to go into the quantum realm and somehow stop Thanos from getting the rest of the stones. Whether that be destroying the stones or getting the stones to create their own gauntlet, we will have to wait and find out. But I do believe these two men right here will pair up and fuck Thanos in the ass with the quantum realm and barf tech, baby. Yee! And that brings us to our fifth and final theory for Avengers 4. That is a mouthful. Try to say that 5 times fast. But our fifth and probably saddest theory that I have for Avengers 4 is we will actually see the demise and death of Mr. Tony Stark / Iron Man. And it's going to be hard. The MCU, as we know it, started over 11 years ago, basically, with the production of Iron Man and the casting of Robert Downey Jr. He really started and ignited everything that we know and love about, at least that I know and love about, Marvel movies and the Marvel Universe, and the amazing accomplishment that Marvel has done in these 11 years of filmmaking. I think Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man represent that. With that being said, time and time again, Tony Stark has put his life on the line to sacrifice himself for the greater good. In Avengers 1, we see him take the nuke out of New York and take it into the wormhole, thinking that he's not going to return and being okay with that. So we see that he's willing to make that heroic play, doing the same thing in Age of Ultron, in Sokovia, and then again in Infinity War, when he literally just leaves Earth and follows this Q ship that he's never seen before to save his little surrogate son, if you will, and a wizard that he just met. And then he makes huge plays against Thanos. You know, when we see Tony get stabbed by Thanos in Infinity War, I thought that was it. I thought that was it. But I think that was just a taste of what we're actually going to get. I believe Tony Stark is going to die by making another heroic play against Thanos and sacrificing himself for the rest of the universe in order for the rest of the universe to go on. Whether that be by Tony Stark making his own Infinity Gauntlet and going toe-to-toe with Thanos and them both, you know, imploding from the aftermath of such a catastrophic fight between 2 Infinity Gauntlets, or whether that be making the heroic play to decimate Thanos in a different way, but then losing his life in the end as well. I just think it would be the most symbolic end for Iron Man for him to actually make that heroic play, and the whole world and universe knows it was him, and you know, hopefully they do remember him, and I think that they will. But damn it, if I have to watch it with my eyes, Tony Stark dying, I'm gonna cry a lot. There's gonna be lots of Kleenex in that theater, but I do think it will happen, and I think it will be the best end to Iron Man's story and to his arc, starting it 11 years ago with Iron Man. We love you, Robert Downey Jr. We love you, Tony Stark. But again, I think Avengers 4, we are going to see the end of this character as we know it. So that does it, guys. Those are my 5 theories for the upcoming Avengers Endgame. I have a lot more theories brewing, but those are the first few that I could decipher from the trailer and doing a bit of research from the past and just being a total nerd and going on Avengers 4 news on Google every 4 seconds every day because I can't get enough of it because it's my crack. But let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think that these things will happen in Endgame? Do you think I'm completely wrong? Do you think Tony Stark will die? Who do you think will die? Cap? Tony Stark? Are we going to see Thor dying? I don't know. I think we're going to see a lot of permanent deaths. But like I said, let me know in the comments. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at GarzaNate or search the hashtag TalkingTommyrot. Going to be dropping a lot more YouTube videos, still doing the podcast, but we're just going to do a few things different. So thanks for coming. I love you guys, and we'll talk some Tommyrot another time. Bye.